My brother in Christ, you have returned.
Allow me to reintroduce myself. My name is...
Bruh. Cool guys zone.
Please clap.
Wow.
There you go, Terry. What in reverse, Terry?
Man, I'm finna whip this hoe.
Alright, so we are back again with some more parts from Scooter Swap Shop. These guys are always coming through with the best parts that you need for your scooter, so definitely hit them up. Right here, we got everything I need to finish up my ZX pulley setup. So we've got the Malosi belt here, and then we've got their 2TR, which is like their in-house brand, aluminum spacer for the crank case, or for the kicker cover. So we're gonna get that set up, and then additionally, make sure we're running this thing the correct way. We've got a nice Trail Tech temp sensor. Theirs comes with the extension, so you don't actually have to buy this separately. Really, probably one of the best deals you're gonna get on this thing on the market. So the plan is we're gonna get these parts installed, get this thing back out on the road, and see just how well it does as far as mile per hour goes. If everything is looking good, we got it tuned correctly, I'm actually gonna take apart this rear setup here and press in some new gears for this as well. Okay, we've got the CVT setup pulled off the bike here, and let's do a quick comparison, right? So when we go to the ZX pulley, the reason we do that is because we can maintain low-end torque while still achieving a higher top speed. And that's done by use of a larger rear pulley. Take a look at this so you can kind of see the size difference here. A little bit hard to tell, but if I stack these like this, you can definitely see just how much bigger that rear pulley is. So when we do this, we also have to go to a wider belt. Now the belt is wider because the pulley opens a little bit wider, and we want this to ride on the very outer edge of this. Ideally, we can get the pulley to sit like this with the belt on it. That's probably like the best case scenario. Now that might require a little bit of grinding on the case here because the belt will ride very, very close to this. So once I get to that, you know, I'll give a little bit more detailed close-up look at that, what we're doing. So if you're not aware of how a scooter CVT works, it's kind of like shifting gears on a mountain bike, right? If you ever had a mountain bike as a kid, sometimes you would put it down into first gear and you would pedal super fast and you wouldn't really go anywhere. That's kind of what it's like whenever you are in the takeoff gear ratio on the scooter. Reason being is because it allows you to get a lot more torque to the rear wheel by spinning more revolutions up front and less out back. So what happens is, let me set you guys up right here. Whenever this thing is on here, it's gonna start smaller in the front and bigger in the back. So more revolutions up on the front end equals less out back. And if you know anything about how torque works, you're gonna get way more torque to the back wheel in that setup. Now, as you go through the RPMs and speed up, it's gonna do the opposite. It's gonna shift to a smaller ratio out back and a bigger one up front. So for each revolution on the front end, you're gonna get more on the back. So less torque, but more speed out back. And that's kind of how that works. It's like shifting gears through a mountain bike in that sense. So whenever you're actually up to speed, you can shift to those lower gears that require you to pedal a little harder, but you're gonna go faster. So hopefully that breaks it down for you a little bit. Okay, so we've got this all put together. Yeah, right away I can see that I'm gonna need to grind off some right about here. You can see how that's rubbing on there. And then down here as well where it's making contact. And this isn't even at its, you know, full setting that it can get to. I'm not quite sure if we are, you know, all the way in there on the front pulley. I should probably switch to a smaller bolt or maybe pull out that washer. I'm not really a fan of doing that, but we might have to. We are maxed out on shims back there. And yeah, we're just enough to get the pulley seated on there fully. So that was all 8 shims plus that Polini high speed, the longer boss that came with the pulley setup. All right, I got it pulled back off. I got my Dremel out here. So just to show you again, the areas that I'm gonna give a little bit of a grind right here on this edge. This back here, I'm probably gonna try to smooth that out a little bit. And then of course, down here on this. I don't wanna go too crazy, but I wanna get it as flat as possible through there so that I'm not destroying my brand new belt on the cases. All right, we got the grinding done on the case. It looks pretty good up there, a little bit back here. I switched over from the Dremel to this it's almost like a milling bit on the end of my drill, and it works pretty good. Now we gotta clean all this stuff up, throw that belt back on and see if we have any interference issues. What we're gonna do now is get this front pulley dialed in. So what I've done is actually taken a Sharpie and I'm gonna draw a line from the smallest part of the variator all the way up to the end. And what that's gonna tell me is if during my pulls, I'm getting as far out to here as possible. In a perfect scenario, all of this purple would be gone by the end of the run. I don't know if that's gonna happen, we'll see. I've had some 6.9 rollers in here, but I might switch down to the 5.6s that came with the Polini. And then if that's not good enough, then I might go down a little bit more even. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw those in, get this bike on the road, and we'll come back and check on this pulley and see how that looks. That's gonna do it for this one, guys. Stay tuned. In the next episode, we're gonna get those gears thrown in and really get this thing opened up. As always, we appreciate our followers. Thanks for liking and subscribing and sharing these videos, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.